Yes, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We have a lady in the crowd, so it's, yeah, of course. So, on behalf of Emirates Safety Laboratory, I would like to thank Edil Social Expo for organizing this wonderful event and for having us here to speak in front of you. And I thank you for this opportunity. So, my name is Julius Sarmiento. I am a senior certification specialist in ESL. I have over 18 years experience in building industry, especially in the construction industries, and 5 years of which is I work as in fire and life safety sector, which is I'm working now 4 years running in certification in ESL. So today I will speak about the brief introduction of history and fundamentals of fire testing and the benefits of product certification. So what is fire? Um, okay. I hope that it's okay that I'll just read some of my notes because it's more informative, yeah? So all of us here have a first-hand experience with fire. In our everyday life, fire is always there, like for cooking, for production of energy, as well as in the manufacturing industries. Fire is the process of combustion when the four elements of fire are present, and that makes a chemical chain reaction. So let's just have a brief history of fire testing. The first primitive human viewed the glow of flame potentially 2.5 million years ago. But even before that, there's evidence of fires that comes just because of the cause of lightning and the heat of the sun. The development of thermoscope in 1593 by Italian astronomer Galileo is the main significant change when he invented this to measure heat and the effects of temperature change. And over 100 years later, in 1700, Gabriel Fahrenheit and Anders Celsius developed temperature scale that became widely used for temperature measurement for fire testing. And contribution of known species like Isaac Newton, Bernoulli, Python, and others who studied heat transfer and thermodynamics becomes the significant factor in uh, um, measurement and tools development. And on the Northern America, because of the large city fire led to the first fire test related to the building. The first fire test happened in Denver, Colorado, which involved fire, load, and shock and water testing. So when we talk about fire breakouts, it should be understood that fire progress in several stages. It starts with the ignition or in the incipient of the fire. This is happen when the combination of oxygen, fuel, heat, and chemical chain reaction happens. The next stage is the pre-flash over or the growth, where this happens when the process of combustion continues growing and more material or combustible material contributes to the fire load that makes rapid fire increasing. Next is the flashover. This flashover happens when the temperature reaches 600 degrees Celsius. This is when it is advisable that there should be evacuation because no one survives flashover. So the next one, is the fully developed fully developed or post flashover stage. This is when the fire is already reached its maximum and there's no more to burn. So it's the largest and it reaches over 1,200 degrees Celsius, which is very catastrophic. And the last is the decay. Decay is when it's completely burned and there's nothing to be combusted or to burn in the combustible material. So how does fire testing simulate different stages of fire? Reaction to fire testing. This is the standalone material fire testing. So basically, products are tested as a standalone in an exposure which is equivalent to pre-flashover stage, where the combustibility and ignitability are measured. It also evaluates material potential contribution to fire development. When a fire reaches the fully developed or post-flashover stage, it is important that building elements such as walls, columns, beams, and other floors also and other non-structural or structural elements of the building be tested to their capability to resist fire and prevent fire spread. Next is the fire propagation test. So this actually applies to exterior wall facade cladding. That also it's mainly the exposure to flashover fires of interior origin. So it's like the parts breaking out of the window and the effects of external flame. So it evaluates external wall assemblies fire propagation characteristics that includes their ability to resist flame propagation. So how is the reaction to fire test conducted? So the most common the most common method is the EN 13501-1 or the European standard, which is to classify a product based on the test that it has been gone through. So in EN 13501-1 there are test methods that being followed. But as you can see in the table, construction products are classified from each type of classes. From A1, which is the what we can say most better class, which is non-combustible, up to the F, which is the worst class, which is easily to be what they call to spread flame or to contribute to fire. So next is, as I said earlier, for this standard, EN 13501, there are standards that are used, test standards that are used to test the product material. First is the EN ISO 1182, which is non-combustibility test. So in this test, a sample representative that is reduced to size of 45 mm diameter and 50 mm thick size is inserted in a furnace and then exposed to a 750 degrees Celsius temperature. The next is EN ISO 1716. This is known as bomb colorimeter, which is actually a significant size of a specified mass of product is placed in one apparatus, which also determines the gross heat combustion or the calorific value of the material. Next is EN ISO 11925-2. So basically this kind of test it's a small impedance test. It's like a lighter that it exposes the product inside this enclosure, and it measures its ignitability with flaming droplets. The next is the EN 13823, or known as single burning items. So as you can see from the video on the left side, this is how it is tested. It's like a room fire that is used to test and check the flame spread and also the smoke production of the product that is used in, especially for the interior use material, like wall finishing, ceiling finishing, and what do you call this? And especially also it is used for other products that are used for facade cladding, like aluminum composite panels and other materials. Next is the EN ISO 9391, or I think I have to correct myself. It is 9239. So this flow radiant heat exposure is usually used for floor finishing products. So they are the one they are the testing used to expose the floor-mounted products, especially carpets, what do you call this, vinyl or other type of material that's used in the flooring. That also measuring the flame spread and as well as the smoke production. So similarly, it is also under EN 13501-1. However, the classes is upgraded with FL, meaning that is for the floor use. So next is for the NAPA 268. This is the ignitability of exterior wall assembly to determine the propensity of ignition of exterior wall assembly from exposure to 12.5 kilowatt per square meter radiant heat. Basically, it resembles situation when there is a fire in a nearby building. And how would an exterior wall assembly perform to the radiant heat effect of the external fire? So you can see in the video how the test is conducted. So you will see that this is the product and this is the radiant heat. As you can see also in the image on the right. Next is for roof covering and roofing assemblies. So this material, basically this type of testing is used for roofing materials like sandwich panels, like what the shingles or even solar panels that are used on the roof covering. So CEN-TS 1187 is the European test method that is used for testing roofing materials. And that also actually EN 1187 has 4 type of tests from test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4. But basically test 4, which is a radiant heat and burning brand, is the one recognized by the UAE Fire Life Safety Code for testing roof covering products. In the American standard, the counterpart is called ASTM E108. So basically, it is also the roofing material is exposed to the flame as well as the wind and measure the flame spread of this product. Next is the ASTM D1929. Basically, this ASTM D1929 is a test for materials that contains plastic. Okay, so material that contains plastic. So it tests each flash ignition temperature and spontaneous ignition temperature. There is no actually fast criteria in ASTM D1929. However, what the UAE Fire and Life Safety Code considered for the compliance of cladding material is that it should not ignite in the temperature that is 343 degrees Celsius or lower. Means this is the test that measure the temperature, how fast the material will ignite. I mean the material with the plastic will ignite and reach the acceptable temperature. Moving to the next topic of our fire testing is the fire resistance testing. So how is the fire resistance test conducted? So basically, as I mentioned, building elements such as walls, floors, columns, beams, and other non-structural or structural elements of buildings are important to be tested for their capability to resist fire and prevent fire from spreading from one place to another. So basically, the fire resistance test is also called large-scale testing. That is, the assembly is exposed in a fully developed or post plus over temperature. That is, as you can see from the temperature time curve from European and STM or American standard. This is the time temperature curve that follows the fire, fully development fire, where this type of assembly are tested. So what you can see from the outside is the unexposed side. what is tested is the one behind it. So it's actually, behind it is the furnace that is producing over 1,200 degrees Celsius of fire, and as well as the pressure that is inside, which is actually depicting like it's a room fire where this type of assembly are tested. So not only this, not only walls or floors or beams or columns are tested to fire resistance testing. Other services like fire-rated ducts and system like penetration ceilings and linear joint ceilings are sealants are also tested in fire resistance, and they are tested for their integrity, insulation, and if required for beams and columns is for the load bearing capacity as well as for the floors. So next is for the fire propagation test. So how is fire propagation test conducted? So I said earlier, this test is for evaluation of fire propagation characteristics of exterior wall assemblies. So basically, these are for the cladding materials or cladding system that are used for the buildings. The like of aluminum composite panel, GRP or the glass reinforced concrete, and EIFS and other type of combustible or cladding system or facade cladding system. So what you can see from the video is a sample test of fire propagation test in our laboratory. So the sample material here is the ACP, which is has a classification of A2 in EN 13501-1. So this type of assembly, which is basically 18 around 18 feet high and 10 feet width, they are they are tested and evaluated for their performance for the ability of exterior wall to resist flame propagation over the exterior wall of the wall assembly, and as well as ability to resist lateral and vertical flame propagation in the interior and in the cavity of the exterior wall assemblies. So what is product certification and how important it is? So we discussed a while ago is about the fire testing that is required for the building products and building systems, like different system from the inside, like floors, like wall, like beams, and also for the external building construction elements like facade cladding, roofing, even the solar panels and other construction materials that are necessary to be tested, so that to avoid or to prevent more fire load when there's a fire. Yeah. So this is basically the aim of fire testing. But what is product certification? So the aim of product certification is to have a confidence on the production of materials, especially when when the quality management or the quality procedures are being checked during product certification. Next is the consistency. So consistency of the product manufactured as compared to the tested material. And lastly is the impartiality. So basically the impartiality is ensured during the process of certification. Next one is the certification process. So basically, certification process is intensive process. However, it's so sustainable that it helps more manufacturers to have a value in their products that are being marketed not only in the UAE or GCC but the whole world. And mainly the benefits of product certification is that it gives assurance to the end user that product delivered and installed meet certain requirements. It also ensures that there's a certification body that watches over certified manufacturer, and that traceability is maintained and ensure a level playing field. And also, it may as well embark economies to regulate construction products. Next is how certification process is done, or how the certification process happen. So first is the request. We receive the application from the manufacturer or from the local partners of the manufacturer, or from the traders, or from the agents of the product. Then there's a review of evaluation of the documents submitted. For example, for one product that wanted to have testing and certification, we evaluate it in a sense that what end use that it will be used, and then and also what market is the target of manufacturer to enter in different regions. And then after the review of evaluation plan, there is sampling conducted for the product representative that will be used for the fire testing. So basically, it is mandatory to have the sampling, so there will be a proper traceability of the products that will be tested in the testing laboratory. And also there's an initial factory audit. So this is what I was saying earlier about the benefits of having the product certification. That initial factory audit basically is it is the way of certification body to check on the manufacturer's credibility, as well as their quality, and how they do the quality procedures for their product manufacturing. Yeah. So after this testing and initial factory audit is completed, there is a decision made. Okay. So of course, if the fire testing is positive and also the factory audit is successful, the certificate will be issued. Okay. So once certificate is issued, there will be like surveillance or the supervision agreement that we certification body give to the certified manufacturer, because this is how we maintain their certificate validity. If they will not if they will not be maintaining the type of quality, the type of product that they are producing as compared to what is tested, then there's room to withdraw the certificate. But that's why certification is not only about test it and then make it certified and finish. No, certification is continuous consistency of the product manufactured. And in the UAE, after the certificate is issued, every Emirates or every civil defense of Emirates require the product to be listed so that they can market it in the UAE. So what you can see on the left side is what you call Certificate of Compliance, or UAE COC, which is produced by certification body who made the certificate issuance. But however, these are the prerequisite to be used for a civil defense listing. So what you can see is a sample of certificate listing from one emirate. So this is how the UAE, what do you call this, product approval or product listing happens. So if you have any question, I'm okay to be asked. So at least I can explain it also. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope that yeah, if you have any question, you can just also go to our what do you call it, our booth, so we can also give you further explanation on ESL services, testing and certification services. Thank you so much.